Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
Well, sir, it's time for some bonus content. On Wednesday's episode, we talked about the importance of writing, and then we even got into some acting. And I feel like we could have done a whole episode just on the acting. We had to cut some of that short. And like you said, more women are starting to get into it. Actors are acting all over the place. We're podcasting about it. Mr. Jeff, welcome to bonus content. How are you, sir?
Feeling good, feeling right. Excited to talk to you and all the Federation.
The frienderation.
Frienderation, yeah. Again, a few little terms for it.
That's right. We got all kinds of nicknames. We were talking about wrestlers that can act. I think you're right. With Ronda and Hulk, they're not actors, so I can't put either one on the list. They're just kind of them and are hired because of them and what they are, not what they would bring to the table as far as delivering lines and things like that. So maybe I was a bit unfair. And the Andre the Giant one, I think I have to move way up because he's so tender and sweet in The Princess Bride. And just kills that so much. And I know from like interviews and stuff and documentaries that he was in a lot of pain during that. And coming off charming and acting while you're in constant pain is borderline impossible. Before I had my spine surgery, my wife was damn near about to leave my ass. I was such an angry prick all the time. I can't imagine having to act with that as well. I think I have to move him higher up the list. And I will say this. When Alexa Bliss books a role in something, she's going to do well with it because she's one of the stronger actors with all that crazy circus stuff they made her do. Even after Bray left, she was able to commit. And even if you didn't like it, her acting was still clean and honest. And you could tell that she put in the work. So that's another one I wanted to throw in there. Any others you think we might have missed?
No, but I do think that we've talked about it briefly before, and it's hard. And now this is a reach. That's why I'm doing it last. Is that Bray Wyatt? I think might be the best actor in wrestling. He just hasn't been like in movies. So it's like I think he's the best actor in wrestling.
I could see him in movies without being the gimmick, right? Like Jesse the Body Ventura is another one we forgot. But Jesse is Jesse, whether he's Captain Freedom in The Running Man or whether he's what was his name in Predator? Blaine?
I don't know what his name was, but he was awesome in Predator.
Blaine? I think it was Blaine. If I got that right, I'm awesome. But he was Jesse the Body Ventura. He didn't have any range. He didn't do anything that you saw differently. Batista, I'm telling you, is the sleeper standout from all of them because I don't think anybody thought he was going to be the actor he became when he walked away from professional wrestling. I think people thought he would just be a Bond villain, which he was, and that would be as far as it goes. And instead, he's just like, nope, I'm never going to show you the same thing twice. And I'm going to keep getting better. You can tell he's an artist and he's hungry to learn. He's hungry to get better. I know him a little bit, but my wife met him on this like European tour. And she was like, he was the nicest, most professional dude. Like she loved him, man.
He's going to be stuck in a tough spot too, where he's kind of like The Rock, where like every role you're going to have to justify his size. Like what is this guy? Like, you know.
But he has lost a lot of weight.
When they show The Rock in every role, it's like, well, almost every role, he plays an ex-football player. He's a Scorpion King, or he's a military guy. The only one that didn't make sense was in Rampage. He plays like a scientist. You're like, what is this scientist working out 4 times a day? Like how?
Yeah, that was like when Denise Richards was a scientist in a James Bond movie, and you're like, hold up, man. Yeah, Denise Richards ain't no scientist.
But I could foresee Batista having to do that same thing. In the Knock at the Cabin, they made him like he's a gym teacher, and so that that's why he's all jacked. But we'll see.
My gym teacher was a woman that looked like a man. She looked a lot like Batista. She looked like David Batista. Oh, she did, man. Her name was Miss Forrester. We were scared of her, man. She was mean, angry. She kind of had growth on her face that she wouldn't wax. Like she just wore it. She wore it defiantly. And she really liked running. So she made us run, boy. And we hated it. But Miss Forrester. Terrible. Miss Forrester, daughter of Batista. Maybe the mother of Batista. I don't know. She was. I ain't trying to talk trash. She was mean, man. She deserves a little heat.
Yeah, she made you run a bunch. Screw her.
Dude, my meanest teacher, and then I want to talk Jeff Hardy stuff, but my meanest teacher was this guy named Mr. McEachran. No, Mr. O'Malley, sorry. And he was from Ireland and still had the Irish brogue accent. And I was in the 6th grade at Sandia Prep Middle School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. and I got a D on my math test.
Oh.
I'm so stupid with math. Like I can barely do the tip on a check. I always have to like make sure I'm not stiffing the guy or giving the guy the greatest tip of his life. Like I'm trying to do 20 to 25%. He comes up to me and he goes, Mr. Prinze. And I'm like, yeah, he goes, you're a disgrace to your family, a disgrace to your and he's just calling me a disgrace. I'm 12 years old, man. This hit me so hard. I got asked a question about like the first time I got in trouble or something, and it was at that school, and it was on the Tonight Show. And I told the Mr. O'Malley story, and I said, I'd like to say hi to that son of a bitch right now, because he said I would amount to be nothing, and now I'm on the Tonight Show. So fuck you. I said it more politely than that, but I was pissed. I was still mad in my 20s about it.
Sure.
It hurt me so much.
I still hold on to my worst
right,
teacher. My worst teacher was a lady named Miss Noreen, and I don't got any interesting stories about her. She was just real mean to me all the time. Didn't like anything I was doing. She was very bullyish. I hated her.
I was fortunate enough in my career to get a writing job with the WWE under weird random circumstances. But I was very excited to go there, and it took me a while to figure out how to write, period, for wrestlers, because, and I still feel strongly to this day, if a promo works, then all credit is due to the wrestler. And if a promo doesn't work, then all blame is on the writer. And that may sound hardcore and extreme, but that's just the way I feel. Your sole function as a writer is to help the wrestler get over. And I screwed up a lot in the beginning because I wrote some of the best shit I've ever written in my life, as far as like a monologue in a script would go, only they call them promos. But if they're not suited for the talent, then it's a shit promo, and I screwed up and I failed that dude or I failed that chick. And believe me, I had failures. I had promos that I knew were money and they just died in the ring. And that's not the talent's fault. I just didn't write it for them. I wrote it because I just thought it sounded sick. And it was lines that I always wanted to say that I wasn't allowed to. But I finally got it right when they handed me Jeff Hardy and the storyline. And the way it came about was Michael Hayes, who brought both Hardy Boys in. He was from the Fabulous Freebirds. He always supported them. And I had gotten a little bit of love from some other smaller storylines that I had written or taken over for other people. Like you would get assigned certain promos. And I was a better writer than pretty much everyone there, because I had more experience writing than anyone there, minus a couple dudes whose work I respect still to this day. So they were giving me a lot of stuff to like fix it and punch it up, things like that. And so Michael said, we're going to pitch a story. And I got really nervous because I'm not good at booking. And he goes, I'll book it and you just fill in all the blanks with all your monologue bullshit. That's what he called it. So I wrote this series of promos for Jeff that we stuck into this pitch, right? It was like a long form story. And if you go on YouTube and take them separately and edit them all together, you'll see it all kind of forms one long poem, right? But nothing rhymed. But with Jeff Hardy, it's all poetry.
Metaphor.
Yeah. But I loved writing this because I had a lot of freedom. Vince didn't change. It was the only time he didn't change anything I wrote. I hated when he would rewrite my stuff because it wasn't good. I told him that to his face. I would tell him that today. And we would argue about it. I go, this is not good, man. Like, I'm not bringing, you're damn right you're bringing that to him, and it's better than that piece of shit you wrote. I'm just like, well, who am I arguing with here? So they gave us a lot of freedom with that. And the reason the story worked was because of the obstacles that Jeff had to deal with. And I think it's the importance of bringing real shit into wrestling. I like when wrestlers do it. So long as everyone is on the same page and okay with it, I think those are the best stories, or get it as close to feeling like real shit. And with Jeff, it was. He was struggling with drug abuse. I don't know if it was alcohol abuse as well, but dude was struggling. And so we just leaned heavy into that. We built him up through MVP. And MVP was kind enough to end up, doing the job and getting Jeff over. But he was the first one that started talking about his reckless behavior, was how he would describe it each week. Jeff's trailer burned down, like in an accident. And MVP blamed his irresponsibility and his reckless behavior for burning down his own thing and killing his dog. His dog actually died. And MVP brought it up, and he asked if it was okay. And Jeff was dope enough that he was like, yeah, man, do what you got to do. Let's just get this story over. And he did it. And the moment they had after that was awesome. And it had nothing to do with my writing. That was just something that the two of them, I didn't have the courage to ask Jeff. And MVP liked the idea, and he said, let me talk to him. So he did it. I had nothing to do. And they executed it beautifully. And that led Jeff to Edge. And that was when the obstacle was going to be Vicky. It was going to be Edge cheating. You know, the babyface has to deal with all these obstacles. And Vince let us draw that story out over multiple pay-per-views. And because of that, the story worked. If I had to write that in 2 weeks, people would be like, that storyline sucked, man. You're the worst writer ever. But because I was given time and allowed to kind of do my thing, that's the thing people give me love for. Now, that said, I wrote plenty of shit that y'all didn't like. You just don't know it because I ain't trying to get exposed like that. I'd rather talk about the good stuff.
Well, you must be such a valuable writer to them because you're a writer and you're smart. You know how all this stuff works, but also you like wrestling. It's not like just bringing in someone into that universe that doesn't even like or know wrestling.
Oh, bro, they did. And it was so bad. They brought in this dude and he wrote a story. He was like, we're going to do like a movie on Monday Night Raw. And it'll be like, who kidnapped Kelly Kelly? And Vince is like, all right, let's try it. And I'm like, I put my hand up and I'm like, let's not. I don't think that's a good idea. You got a good script here. And I don't think we want to try to reinvent the wheel. And this guy got mad at me. He was a USA TV writer, older guy. And he goes, come on, Freddie, just give it a chance. And Vince is like, Freddie, give it a chance. And then makes me direct the segments that I hate the most. But it was basically Kane kidnapped Kelly Kelly and was probably going to sexually assault her again the way they did in that horrible storyline. But he kidnaps her and he's like got her taped up and bound and gagged. And they're trying to find someone was dating Kelly Kelly and they're trying to find her and rescue her, all while a professional wrestling show is on and there's matches going on. It should be a full police investigation. Not a cop is called. And we're supposed to have matches that people believe in when every single promo in between the matches is, we're looking for Kelly. Where could she be? And there's a video of Kane going, ha, you'll never get her. It was so shitty. Yeah. And I had to be a part of that, man. And they're saying, well, you don't like it, fix it. I'm like, fix it? How do I fix vomit?
What am I supposed to do?
And turn that into something edible for you to enjoy? What are you talking about, man? You brought the groceries. You cooked the damn food. I hated it. But the Jeff Hardy stuff was a ton of fun. And again, a cool thing, if you guys want to, is to string all those promos together and you'll kind of see how it doesn't rhyme like Edgar Allan Poe or Dr. Seuss. Those are my inspirations when I wrote it. I'm not even joking.
I love it.
All right, y'all. We will be here every week, every Wednesday, and every Thursday. Make sure you give us those ratings, share the podcast, share the new content with your friends as well. Let them know it's not always wrestling. We side quest into other crap as well. And it's just free flow. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Jeff, you got any final words for the people?
Just that we love you guys and tell some friends, get some people to listen to this stuff. We love talking about wrestling. We want to keep doing it. Tell your friends.
Peace. We out.
This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.